Hello, everybody, and good evening. Happy Sunday to everyone. We hope that tonight you guys are relaxed, refilled with your weekend, and ready to take on another week of Aroha, of changing people's life, and another week of meaningful connection. Welcome to tonight's special Korero live session as we are officially starting the conversation about the most anticipated NZDRT Incorporated 30th National Conference this 2026, which will be held in Ototahi, Christchurch from 13 to 15 August 2026. This is always one of the highlights of our professional calendar, and we're really excited to be sharing what is ahead. So joining me tonight is a woman that needs no introduction at all, especially in our community. And many of us already know our former president and now serving as our director of strategic engagement among her many hats. Join me as I welcome and as I say in behalf of the society, to all the women and to you, Madam Orquídea, happy International Women's Day to you, and welcome to tonight's conversation.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, AJ. I think, I'm going to keep an eye on that because in November, we also have International Men's Day. So I'm going to keep an eye, okay, to celebrate you too.
Yeah.
Hey, look, welcome for the thank you so much for the introduction, and welcome everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you again one more time. We have been talking about conference, and look, just what AJ has said, conference is the highlight for every professional. And one of the things that always get me, particularly because we are recreational therapists and we love creativity and we love spontaneity and we love to be prepared for what is coming, people will normally ask, hey, so what about this conference? What is going to be the topic, or what is going to be the theme? So this year we have chosen Māra Tangata, which means a garden of people. And when I think about gardens, I believe, AJ, and you can help me with this, please, because gardens is something that enhances quality of life in many different ways. AJ.
Absolutely. And look at my background right now. It's the closest garden that I can ever grow, because as many people are gifted with their green thumb, unfortunately, I am gifted in other areas. But I do appreciate a beautiful garden and, the living plants and the living and everything that grows in the garden as well. But unfortunately, when people gift me orquídea, like live plants or even succulents for that matter that needs very less maintenance, I don't do a very good job in taking care of them. But I do believe, as you've said, that a garden can be a symbol of many things. And I feel that I'm gifted in taking care and giving support to other things as well. So Orquídea was right. This year's theme is for our 30th National Conference is Ototahi Christchurch 2026 Māra Tangata, a garden of people, simply because it's in Ototahi Christchurch, which is known as the Garden City of Aotearoa. Isn't that beautiful? And
amazing.
Garden symbolizes diversity, beauty, care, and nurturing. And in a garden, every plant is unique. Every plant and every feature is different, yet they belong to a one ecosystem, and just like us. So the meaning there is very, very deep, and the connection there to our practice is just massive. Don't you agree?
100% agree, AJ. And look, I belong to the ecosystem of diversional and recreational therapists. My mother was thinking about her favorite flower when she named me, which is orquídea, and translates to orchid in English. So I feel quite lucky and quite blessed to have been given that name. So thank you, Mom. Look, when I think about connection to our practice, you can just look at the screen today. So AJ, all the way from the Philippines, myself, all the way from Mexico, both of us living in this beautiful country of Aotearoa. But it's not only us. We work on daily basis with people from different cultural backgrounds, different life stories, different abilities, different life experiences. And our role is to create environments where every single one of them have the opportunity to flourish, just like ourselves.
Absolutely. And what is your favorite garden, Orchidia? I mean, I'm pretty sure you have visited a lot of gardens already. Because mine would be an urban garden, in the middle of a city and a modern space. There's still a garden that is flourishing. I feel a lot of appreciation for that. How about yours? Do you like a garden that has lots of flowers, a garden that has a lot of water?
Yeah, look, I think one of the things that I do have to agree with you, AJ, is that I have also been gifted, I suppose, I have been gifted with the joy of going out there and enjoying nature. But if you give me a plant, I need to ask probably someone else to help me to keep an eye on the plant. When we talk about gardens, yes, you are correct. I have been to quite a few of them. I obviously love New Zealand gardens. They are so special. But the one that I connect with is my nana's one. And look, I didn't learn to appreciate that until I was older enough to understand why she was always worried and concerned about her garden, which for me back on the days, it was like a lot of mosquitoes, and water and bugs. But actually, that meant life. And I think that's what we are talking about today. And look, I think I have shared with all of you many times, but my father loves trees. Okay, so he will build something and it's going to be around the tree. He's never going to be chopping a tree. There's a lot of significance around life, around trees. And funny enough, when I arrived in Aotearoa and when I became a recreational therapist, it's the symbol of a tree. So isn't that amazing?
Amazing, yes, absolutely. And I hear the message here that, a beautiful theme is in store for us this year because gardens symbolizes more than, transcends more than control. It's not about control because when you think of garden, you think of a space that you can't control everything, but you have to be nurturing for growth and appreciating the beauty at the same time. So this is all about person-centeredness and understanding each individual elements of that garden in its own, meeting them where they are. So I think that is so deep and profound, especially in our practice where every person that we connect with, every person that what we try to support is different in their own ways and we have to meet them there. Right. For many years, Orchidia, our profession has focused on growth, especially, when that was the season that was needed, the season of growth that was needed. And I feel that this theme has come in a perfect timing as well to remind us that we should invite ourselves not only to grow, but also to pause and appreciate the beauty of the work that we do. And diversional recreational therapy brings color, joy, and connection to the people's lives. And just like a garden, we adorn humanity and human beings. And how do you feel about that, Orchidia? Pausing. And I know both of us, you and I, can work so much in pausing and appreciating the beauty of life. Eh?
Yes, I think the beauty of our profession is not only about focusing on the flourishing, but when you're talking about adorning the garden of humanity, we are really highlighting the power that there is within the skills that we have to get the best out of people. And I'm talking, we're talking about recreational therapists that are working in the community, in a public hospital, with people with disabilities, with people at the end of life. And we are supporting them to that humanness that we are quite unique about ourselves to really get the best of people every single moment, whether it's at home with our own family, or whether it's at work, or maybe just with a contractor or someone that we are just coming in contact with. I mean, I have seen you, AJ, when you are, walking in a public space, the smile, greeting people, and people automatically will connect with us. I think that's the beauty, and that's when you say adorning the garden of humanity, that's what it means.
Beautiful. So I don't know about you guys, but I am just so thrilled and just so excited about this year's conference that I cannot wait to meet you all and hug you all again face to face, and be with you all and just celebrate the wonderful and important profession that we do. But Orchidia, for some of our new members, it may be helpful to take a little stroll back and walk back about the history of our conferences, because we
Yes.
know that we have come and we have achieved this level of success, but the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single
Yes.
step. So you have been
Totally.
in a lot of conferences, so yeah,
Look,
can
and
you
it's
tell
been
us more about the history?
yes, of course, and also we have to keep in mind that when we started with conferences, I'm talking more than 20 years ago. It was because people like us back on the days, they realized about the importance of, okay, we need to have professional development opportunities, not only for us at this point in time, I'm talking to you about 20 years ago, but about the
Mm,
future recreational therapists.
mm,
And we have been embracing that, and we have been adapting, and we are becoming more flexible. So we hold conferences every year. Okay. Now, what is important to note around adapting and becoming more flexible is that we now alternate between having an in-person conference and a virtual opportunity. And at the same time, we alternate between having, or we do our best to have one in the North Island, one in the South Island. We continue to adapt, we continue to be flexible, because we also need to keep an eye on the cost so that we can enable people to be there with each other. So what is the purpose of this? Okay, ensuring accessibility for all recreational therapies across the country. And look, the beauty, for example, about virtual is that now we even have people from other countries attending our events. And we have recreational therapists in New Zealand making friends with recreational therapists in other countries. So that has opened a lot of doors. And it's about strengthening the national connections that we already have and creating new ones and long-standing friendships. I mean, however, over the time, we have these financial pressures. We also have to think about travel and the operational cost. But it's amazing. I mean, it's great how people now get excited and build momentum that we're going to be meeting each other every 2 years in person. And what is really important to stress in here, AJ, is that the model that we have now adopted, it's helping us to maintain accessibility and inclusion, to support members financially, because it's not only about paying the full amount, we also have adapted payments, and to
mm.
continue professional learning across the years. Because in our roles, in order to continue to flourish and in order to continue to support people to flourish, we must continue to learn on daily basis.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And I can get so many gems of wisdom there from your statements and from your recall, Orchidia. And first and foremost, let me take this time to say thank you to the trailblazers and the founders and the pioneers and our tipunas, the people that have been here for, as Orquídea said, 20 years and more, that have started this, that when it was in their time, they did not just thought about, their own professional development,
Yeah.
but the future of the industry and the future of the practice. And just like that, we hold the torch with dignity and honor, thinking about not just what we can get out of it on our own today, but also for the future generation. So thank you for that. And I can also take out, Orquídea, that we adapt. While we say that, we will have to do this face to face yearly, I think one of our strengths is being aware that, different times means that we have to do things differently as well. And so for now, for this season, we are going to have every 2 years face to face conference, and then the alternate every year, alternate year of that is an online conference, which has its own benefits as well. So that is just a testament of how flexible and how adaptable our professions are. So that's very, very special. But let's think about what's your favorite conference, like Easter egg or tidbits, Orquídea. Mine would be, I don't know who started this tradition, but it didn't start during my time, because when I arrived in the society, when I joined the society, it's already there. But my favorite is the banner. I don't know if you guys started it, Orquídea. The banner that is passed on from conference to conference, and each logo of the conference is embroidered on that banner. And I feel that that's something very, very special. It's a taonga it's a treasure to the society.
Yes, 100%. It's a taonga. Well, I actually, when I took over as the president, the banner had already been with us for 3 years. And it was actually gifted by a recreational therapist that retired. And it was quite beautiful, the last conference that we had in Auckland, because those ones that know me, that I will take photos of everything, even the fly on the wall, and then I will post it on social media. But I tend to do those things just because I have this kind of motto, like, you never know who you might inspire. So anyways, I posted, the banner, because I grabbed the banner and I took it with me to Auckland Airport to pick up our international speakers. And I asked every single one of the international speakers to hold the banner, right? Arriving, coming to the entrance. And the lady, which you're going to have to excuse my memory at this point in time, the lady that actually put it together, she sent me a message. And she said, you have made my day. You have no idea how much it means for me to actually see the photos of the banner that I put together for the society a few years back. And, that was so special to embrace something that has been developed by one of us. And it is still in there. So we are creating this live history for ourselves, for our profession. So it's just to give you an example about the banner. And now every conference, obviously, we pass it around. And hopefully, even when it's full, we can make a new one, or we will find a way to do it, because we're quite creative.
Absolutely.
But I believe what makes this event so special, AJ, is that we have been achieving many remarkable things over the years. So, for example, we have been hosting respected leaders in the healthcare industry. We have hosted, which is, recent, probably in the last 5 to 7 years, international speakers, which we have never had in the past. And I'm talking about, people from Japan, people from the United States, people from Canada, and other countries. We have had innovators in therapeutic recreation and meaningful engagement. And the experience that people that have come to New Zealand now, what they are taking away, or what they are saying to us is, you guys, the job that you are doing in New Zealand is quite unique. The sense of community, your conferences are amazing. And that's just a reflection on how much we have flourished in that space. Because at the end of the day, it's about the heart of our profession, the creativity of every single one of you, the practitioners, and that genuine connection that we create between members, and then we take that to our people.
I'll talk with that, Orquídea. And you know what? I can really attest that it's not all, talk that Orquídea is saying, that people from globally that are visiting New Zealand and coming here are saying that what we're doing here is truly special, because I've seen it with my eyes and I've heard it said by international speakers saying, AJ, it just blows my mind, when somebody speaks, especially like in a poffery, and then after the speaker, everybody stands up and supports, and everybody knows the song. And they say that there are very few places in the rest of the world that you can find that already. A community that stands up and joins in community singing and joins in to support one another. So they really are blown away with that. And I feel very proud to be living in a community or in a country where we are more relational than transactional. We build that relation, and that's so amazing. But I would like just to say thank you to Orquídea, who is now fittingly our Director of Strategic Engagement, for bringing those international connections in. And as we've said, these are because of the pillars, not just Orquídea, but the leaders of the society that has come before her as well, that have paved the way for what we are enjoying right now. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, I hope, that have paved the way and that have connected with other international and even national humans to continue to adorn humanity through our practice. So this is, I think, what makes our conferences, especially in New Zealand, so special, Orquídea. It's the people, it's the stories, the sharing and the learning of each other, and the connection and the interaction, as every conference becomes a place where we celebrate the strength and passion of diversional recreational therapy community. And I think this is one thing that I enjoy the most in the conference, Orquídea. It's the human factor. I love it when the delegates would come and say to one another, oh my gosh, this is the first time that I heard, and I realized that I'm actually not alone in experiencing this challenge or this problem. You are also worried about your budget. You are also worried about your attendance because your manager or your leader doesn't understand what we are truly doing. You are also having a problem because you are also tasked to still do the morning tea and then expect to run the therapeutic activities and meaningful activities and all that. So it's just being human, the human factor, right?
And also, AJ, the beauty is that people share. I believe that through sharing our stories, we share also those challenges. We acknowledge not only the weaknesses, but we find the strengths, we find the possibilities, we have more clarity around the opportunities, and then we share and we continue to share. I'm really proud of being a recreational therapist. I am proud of the work that we have been doing in Aotearoa. And it really excites me when this time of the year is coming around, because somehow we have managed not to only provide that sense of belonging in person, but we also have managed somehow to provide the same sense of belonging even when we do it online. I have to say, you guys have no idea what happens behind the scenes. However, the feedback, it's always been great.
And it's worth it. Yeah, and as Orquídea has also mentioned before, that, since season changes, the world is changing. And today is, last Friday is the the World Day of Prayer. And I think that that's very powerful because, no matter what your faith is, no matter what your religion,
Yeah.
I think this is a season where we all come together and, pray and be it in your own faith and your own religion, but come together as one because the world needs us to be one right now because it's just, yeah, just scary, but it's changing, and so we should change too. So we really understand that times are tough right now. We really understand that there are a lot of financial, logistical, and even corporate barriers as professionals and organizations are tightening up because they can really feel the pressure. But we adapt. We are flexible. So as Orquídea has mentioned, this weekend you should have, if you are a member of the society, you should have received an email stating about the different financial options and initiatives that we have started for this year. So we have started installment payment for 5 months and 10 months installment payment. There is that option already, and also a credit card option that we have established so that it can help and elevate, and make this event accessible. So we are going to, if you haven't received that, and if you are a member, please reach out to secretary or treasurer, and we are going to send you those details and those information. But yeah, we are just so excited to start this campaign and bringing this event to as much diversional and recreational therapists in New Zealand. So soon we will be releasing and circulating our resource pack that would have materials and resources for you, how to convince your leaders to send you, and how to strategize and plan for your own trip to this conference. This year, Orquídea, we are incredibly excited for everyone, and we are incredibly excited to launch the official theme for this year, which is Ototahi Christchurch 2026 Māra Tangata, a garden of people. So as we invite our community to come together once again to reconnect, to learn, to celebrate the profession. So if there is any last words or final invitation from you, Orquídea, tonight to our members, go for
Well,
it. The
I
floor.
think my closing message is, if you have attended a conference before, you already know how powerful these gatherings can be. So be prepared, okay? The conference is not only for you. If you believe that there is someone out there in the community, or your manager, or an executive leadership person, just extend the invitation, okay? You never knows. And look, if this will be your first time, we truly encourage you to join us. We will love to have you there. We will love to welcome you, to hug you, to share with you. And it is an opportunity not only to grow professionally, but it's about reconnecting with the heart that you do. So basically, it's an opportunity to grow internally for every single one of us. So I'm really, really looking forward to see you all out there. And thank you, AJ. You guys are doing an amazing job.
Thank you so much, Orquídea, for always being there, supporting us, and yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing the power and sharing the fun with you again this coming conference. So we look forward to welcoming you, everyone, in Ototahi Christchurch 2026. Māra Tangata, a garden of people. Thank you for joining us tonight, and to all women, once again, happy International Women's Day. Thank you for all that you do and all that you contribute to this world and this life. May you continue to have power and flourish and be adored. Good night, everyone. Have a great week.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Orquídea. Good night, everyone.